Crosspatch. Scarloey made a face. "Not again, Nancy, please." "Just a teensy polish," she coaxed. "You must look nice for your 100th birthday." "I am nice. You're just a fusspot. And you're a horrid old crosspatch." Nancy polished him vigorously. Scarloey smiled. "Nancy," he said, "I really was a crosspatch once. Shall I tell you?" "Yes, please." "Well, calm down. I can't tell it properly while you're fussing about up there." "Just 5 minutes then, no longer." Nancy sat down on her box, and the old engine began. "Tallyclin, Dorgoch, Ranias and I were built together in England." "Who?" asked Nancy. "I'll Tallyclin and Dorgoch." "Tallyclin is my twin, and Dorgoch is Ranias's. Their railway is in Towyn in Wales, and they're 100 too. We were green, and they were red. Tallyclin and I had 4 wheels then, and no cab. We thought we were wonderful, and talked about how splendid we'd look pulling coaches." "What about trucks?" asked Nancy. Scarloey chuckled. "We had no use for them," he said. "I was finished first, and sent away on a ship. I didn't like that. It wobbled dreadfully. At the port, the big railway kept me waiting. They had no cranes to lift me out the ship. Wasn't the Fat Controller's railway back then. I'm sure he would have managed it much better." "What did they do?" asked Nancy. "They used the ship's derricks. They nearly turned me upside down," said Scarloey indignantly, "and left me hanging whilst they arranged the truck." "You must have looked funny," gurgled Nancy. "Yes, and I felt it too. I got crosser and crosser. They fastened me to the truck at last, and an engine took me away. His name was Neil. He was ugly but kind, and we were soon friends. "You're bound for the railway, are you?" he said. "You must put some order into those trucks. The errors they make it hard to believe." I didn't like the sound of that. I was too tired to even say anything. Plenty of people were waiting when we got there, but they weren't used to engines. It was dark before they had me on my wheels. Then they left me, cold, lonely and unhappy, and wishing Renias would come. Trucks were everywhere next morning. Suddenly, with a rattle and a roar, a train of loaded ones came in. We were surprised. "There's no engine," I said. A workman laughed. "I've come down by gravity," he said. "The empty ones need pulling up, though. That's why you've come." "But can't they go up by whatever it was you said?" "Gravity only brings things down," he said. "We need horses, or engines like you, to pull them up." "What? Have I to pull trucks?" "Of course." "I won't. I want coaches." He just laughed and walked away. Soon Mr. Mack, the manager, arrived with some men. He showed them my parts from a book. "We're going to steam you, Scarloey," he said. "Can I pull coaches, sir?" "No, certainly not." I gave him such a look. They didn't understand engines back then, so it was easy. My fire wouldn't burn, and I made no steam. I just blew smoke at them. They called me nasty names, but I didn't care. Next day they tried again, and the next, and the next. I just gave them my look, and wouldn't do a thing. At last the manager said, "Very well then, be a crosspatch, but we're not going to look at your sulky face all day. We'll curry you up and leave you till you're a better engine." "They did too," chuckled Scarloey. "They fetched a big tarpaulin and curled me right up. I didn't like that at all." "I think it served you right," said Nancy severely. "Never mind her, Scarloey. Please tell us what happened next." Nancy turned in surprise. A group of people had quietly come up to listen while Scarloey was telling her his story.